Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to discuss facials, something that most barber and cosmetology students don't really care about. I can tell you for a fact I didn't care about it when I was in school. But again, having Hitler's former barber as my teacher, she walked around with a metal comb and would smack you in the back of the head. It was a very effective learning technique. She said, I don't care if you ever plan to do this once you get your license. None of my students fail the test. That's what I'm here for, and you will pass your test, and you will know how to do these things. And you know what? We used to make fun of her behind her back when she'd walk away, but she was right. Okay? There was so many things on the test that I didn't care about at all, but I did pass the test. Not just did I pass that test, I passed the test in 7 different states. Cosmetology test, barber test, skincare test, not nails. I do them mine. I really don't care about nails. Okay? Nothing wrong with nails. I just really don't care about them. But I passed the test in many states, many different tests. I passed the teacher's exam in 3 states. And you know what? I really trace it all back to my original teacher, because not only did she pound into your head the question on the test, she pounded into your head all the things you needed to know to pass the test that you didn't really care about and might never, ever, ever do in your career. But you wouldn't have a career if you didn't pass the test. And that's what I try to do here, okay? I try to tell you everything that's on the test, whether you're interested or not, because you will thank me when you pass the test. Now, as I've talked about many times in other videos, we do private tutoring. If you feel that you just cannot pass the test, and most of our students for private tutoring have failed the test repeatedly, it's very expensive. You're paying the state, you're paying the testing company, whether it's PSI or Pearson VUE or DL Rope or any of the other ones, okay? They're not working for free, and they really don't care how many times you fail the test. They're perfectly happy to keep taking your money all the time, okay? The state enjoys taking your money repeatedly. The testing company enjoys taking your money repeatedly. The only person who doesn't have fun in that situation is you, because you keep paying the money and you don't have a test. Okay? Stop that. Get off that crazy gerbil wheel. Stop paying the state and paying the testing company. Take your test and pass it. That might involve paying us. Maybe these videos are sufficient for you to pass your test. If they're not, you can pay us. Our book will get you through the test. It has every question and every answer from all 7 textbooks that your state has asked in the last 12 months. There's about 600 or 700 questions in this book. Now, people will say all the time, well, why do I need to know that? There's only 70 questions or 80 or 90 or 110 questions in my test. Why do I need 600 or 700? Because you don't know which 60 or 70 or 90 questions will be on your test. I actually had 2 barbers who owned an apprentice program, and they called me and they said, why are you telling my students they need to know 600 different questions? There's only 70 questions on the test. I asked them a simple question. Do you know which 70 questions? Exactly, a resounding they don't know. I looked up because they happen to be in California. And California does something very interesting no other state does. On the California Barber and Cosmetology website, you can look up the schools alphabetically. You can see their pass rate every quarter going back for 5 years. That particular apprenticeship program, who remain nameless, had a 10% pass rate. 10%. Meaning for every 10 students that went, 1 passed their test. And now I knew why. Because they felt as though there was no sense in learning 600 questions because you only have 70 on your test. And apparently they really believed they knew which 70. Sadly, their test results proved they didn't know which 70. Okay? We're going to talk today about facials. Okay? There are 2 schools of thought on facials. At one point, the book says, all movements in a facial are up and out. Up and out. And the theory being that gravity is pulling your face down. It doesn't need any help. You're going to do everything up and out. Fighting gravity. Here's the problem with that theory. I've never known a man in my life whose facial hair grew up and out. Facial hair tends to grow either straight out or in most cases, down. So here's what the state board exam says on a man's facial. What is the direction of movement? In the direction of beard growth. That is the answer. Now they will always give you up and out. That's not the answer on a man's facial. So does the question say facial, or does it say a man's facial? Now the up and out theory, or in the direction of beard growth, can carry itself into in which direction do you put cleansing cream? In which direction do you put massage cream? In which direction do you remove cleansing cream? In which direction do you remove massage cream? The answer depends upon male or female. Now, my experience, I've not seen the question say in a woman's facial. When you see the question in a facial, assume it's for a woman. They're very specific when they say in a man's facial. So are they asking massage application, cleansing cream application, removal, massage cream? It doesn't make any difference. One other little thing, okay? When you're removing any product from a man's face, cleansing cream, massage cream, you need to use a towel. If you use a cotton pads like on a woman, you will shred the cotton on his facial, on his beard growth. Okay, you'll have little balls of cotton like looks like snow all over his face. Keep this in mind, both in the real world and on your test. Okay? A final point. How do you remove all products from the jars in a facial? You use a clean spatula. Resist the temptation to stick your fingers in the jar. If the state board inspector comes in and sees finger marks in the jars, you're going to get a fine. But if you answer the question on the state board test wrong, you won't have to worry about getting that fine from the inspector because you won't get a license. So you'll never be in that situation. Okay? All products get removed from the jars with a clean spatula. Now in the real world, most people get around this by using either pumps or squeeze tubes. But the state asks you about removing the products from a jar. That's all I have to say on facials. It's not heavily tested, but there's enough questions for you to fail your test. Don't be one of those 60% who fail their test every day. Give us a call for questions, 760-534-4434. Go to our website, take our free practice test. If you have any questions, make sure you watch our videos. Thank you, and I'll see you soon.